and run to it, and the people of Israel, they fell in the hands of the Midianites because of dishonoring the word of the Lord. And one of the things that I see here in the life of Gideon, that even if many people in that time, the Midianites, the ones from Midian, there were multitudes when they were working. They didn't even wait to lift up the harvest, and the people already went to go steal the harvest that was sowed. And two words that I saw here that impacted my heart, that in the midst of the circumstance, in the midst of the problems that the people were having, the people of Israel, but there was a man that was determined to live differently of the others that were beneath the caves or under the caves. And this man was Gideon. And he says that the angel found him working in the field, lifting up wheat. And I believe that this man, he was also afraid, but he strived to come out in the midst of a problem that he was having, in the midst of a war that he was having with the people of Israel, with the Midianites. He was threshing wheat, and this man, he didn't stay stuck of what he was seeing, and everyone was having crisis of lack of food, nourishment. But this man, he strived, and he had a bravery to come out at least to harvest some part of the wheat. And what I see in him is that the fear that moved in the people of Israel didn't capture him or trap him, but he strived to find element for his food, element and food for his family and children. And these times, something more critical, something more difficult, and these times that they are adapted, or they adapt to what the world is saying, what the news is doing, what the news is saying, and they get an agreement with those things that are happening in the world also, and they act in the same way like all of those that are in the cave. And so they don't strive to say no. That I believe in this time of warfare, this time of crisis, I believe that God can surprise me in the midst of the time that we're surpassing. And Gideon was one of the men that said that even if everyone of all of Israel is under a cave, me and my household, we have hunger, we have thirst, we want food. We don't want for the children to die. I don't want my wife to die. And I imagine that this young man, that he came out with a spirit of bravery, and he said that I have to come out from here to be able to take out a little bit of weight for my family. And by himself, I don't think that he did it just for one day. I believe that he did it for various days. I believe that he was doing it various times. Because how is it that God saw him and the angels also saw him? And you know that today, the pandemic, the quarantine, that this thing, something else, it's like that encaves the people to not do anything. But there are people that overcome that and say, no, I'm not going to stay locked in. I'm going to go forward. I know that I am with God, and God's going to help me, and God's going to take you out. And Gideon, he didn't settle. He didn't realize that